welcome to Blanka Talks, Episode 4, The Collegial Teacher. I'm Anna-Karin Berg, the host of Blanka Talks, which is Drottning Blanka, Cyber and Snitz High School's international talk show with and for teachers. Our very important contributors in this program series are Varki Foundation and, of course, Teachers Without Borders. And the most important ones are, of course, the teachers from all over the world. In today's talk, we'll be focusing on the collegial teacher, and perhaps some of you immediately think of teacher peer learning. However, that is a little bit different because it basically means systematic and structured approach for teachers to learn together in order to improve education and teaching itself. But in this episode, we'll be more focusing on how to create a sense of teacher community. And of course, a collegial school climate. Let's meet our first guest, Natalia Rodriguez, who's a vocational teacher at Cybergymnasiet here in Stockholm, Sweden. Hello, Natalia. Thank you for joining us today. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you. It's so good of you. I know you had a very busy day and some upcoming busy days as well. So thank you for taking the time. And before we talk more about collegial teachers and what it means with collegiality, we'd like to, of course, get to know you and Armando a little bit better, our other guest. So what do you teach?
I teach in hairdressing.
Yes. And you've been...
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You've been at Cybergymnasiet you told me about, for 10 years now.
Yes, that's right. It's a really, really nice workplace to be in. And hairdressing is my passion, so I do what I like the best every day.
Fantastic. And you and our other guest, Armando Persico, who will be joining us from Bergamo, Italy, you actually have vocational teaching in common. And one part of it that you also kind of have in common in that case, or what our two countries have in common, is entrepreneurship. How does entrepreneurship play a part in what you do every day with the students?
Well, yes, besides hairdressing and dyeing and cutting hair, we learn the students to have entrepreneurship qualifications. We often work in projects from the idea to try to make it to their goals and learning the process. We teach and learn the students to let them have tools so they can in a future maybe start their own business, but also increasing the finance sector, increasing cell capacity, for example, for the best profit. Right now in Sweden, there's a lack of hair salons. Also because of the pandemic. And we think with this knowledge, the students can get a brighter future in how to start their own business.
Fantastic. It's so important. And again, I mean, through the entrepreneurship, you teach them, of course, flexibility and adaptability to these different kind of environmental changes and everything.
Absolutely.
So that's fantastic. That's awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, Natalia. We'll talk more later, of course, but let's move on to our other guest, Armando. Welcome.
Hello, and thank you for inviting me. I'm very, very proud to be here.
We are very proud and happy to have you. You, as I said before, you had a history as a vocational teacher. But now you're more into entrepreneurship as well. You have a very important role in this field. Could you tell us a little bit more about this? And also, I would like to know more about what is JA Italia? What does that mean? What organization is that?
Yes. I teach entrepreneurship, and this is one of my jobs. The other one is to be the teacher community manager in this JA, so Junior Achievement, Italia, because it is the Italian part of a big association that is spread around the world, because JA worldwide is on. I think that this is the top of the role of teaching entrepreneurship in the world. And this year we are nominees, we are candidates for the Nobel Award for Peace Prize. So we are very proud of it.
Fantastic, wonderful. Congratulations. What an achievement. That's amazing. I also see that you're wearing a very beautiful pin on your jacket.
Yeah,
what is that beautiful pin? I recognize it.
Yeah, this is the logo of the Global Teacher Prize. And so this is another achievement for me, because in 2017, I was nominated. In the top 50 of the Global Teacher Prize, and the Global Teacher Prize is, the so-called Nobel Award for teacher, to valorize our beautiful job.
Exactly. Yes. Again, Varkey Foundation is behind this Global Teacher Prize, and all the participants here in Blanka Talks, coming from different countries, are actually ambassadors for Global Teacher Prize, and of course, then ambassadors, I would say, for Varkey Foundation. So thank you, Armando, and for sharing your backgrounds and telling us a little bit more about what you do and who you are. And let's turn our focus back on collegial teachers. And my first question goes to you, Armando, again. What does it mean to you being a collegial teacher?
Yes, we risk to be alone when we work in our classrooms. So if we are able to understand that our work is a collegial work, so we represent each other, the other teachers, the other colleague, when we enter in our classroom, I think that we can achieve more and more from our students, because we are part of a big proposal for our students. So I'm part of this big proposal, and if I think myself as a representative of the other colleagues, and if we work together to propose the same goals to the students, I think that we can obtain more and more for our beautiful students.
Natalia, how do you feel? What does it mean to you being a collegial teacher?
I agree with your words, Armando. I think sharing experiences is very important, good or bad, because they can help us to see things differently when we need to. Share our knowledge is very important. It's very valuable. Having collegial teachers in school that share knowledge make me and everyone else richer in our profession, I think. Give each other support is very important, because it gives trust and good relationships at work, at any work, I believe. And collegial teacher inspires you. They can be very honest with you, give you challenges, and guide you. And in that way, makes you a better teacher and a better colleague.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with both of you. I mean, I think the key word you also said, Natalia, is honesty. Sharing both positive and negative moments, or in order to improve and get that support together, which actually it brings me to my second question about, now we've talked about colleagues in general, what's collegiality might mean, but Natalia, do you have a particular colleague that that kind of like means a lot to you or has meant a lot to you?
Yeah, well, I would like to mention a couple.
Of course,
if that
go
is
ahead.
okay.
I know there's not just one. I mean, there's probably more than one.
Yeah, well, I would like to mention my colleagues here at Cyber right now. I think I'm very grateful, and I think it's very important, like for moments when we share and can discuss topics that are very important for us. Last week, for example, I talked to Hannah and Marcus, and I wanted to have some historic perspective in Black history. I was talking about this topic with my students, and sharing their knowledge was very rewarding for me, and I'm very grateful for that. Marcus also entered my classroom with my students, and we discussed this with the students. So this was very I'm very grateful for that. So I think discussing topics is important with my colleagues, and I would like to mention two colleagues that I had when I was graduated from Stockholm's University and started here at Cyber. Mats Andersson and Per Wahlgren. I was a little bit insecure in my role, and they introduced me into work. They teach me practical skills I need to know, and were very supportive overall. And they had also a great sense of humor. And Pearl, for example, he and I shared the mentorship for our new students that year. This was the 2011, and we had around 30 students in the class. And I was there with Per, and he told the students, could you please introduce yourselves and tell us your names? And these 30 students told us their names. And Per looked at me and he said, Natalia, could you please repeat their names? And that was a little bit shocking. And I said, no, I don't think I can. I can say the wrong names. And he said, well, I'll give it a try. And this was one of Per's skills. So he started to mention every student's name in the room. And that made me laugh, and the students laughed, and we had a more relaxed environment, and it was very good for introducing us to each other. So that was very positive. It's one of the moments I remember.
That's a very sweet memory, and also, as you said, it's very important that you can share this kind of, or create this kind of relaxed atmosphere among colleagues as well, and of course, sense of humor. It's very important. What about you, Armando? Do you have colleagues that has meant a lot to you now or before?
Yes, I have four teachers, four colleagues, and 25 years ago, when we started to change our approach to teach, we worked together. Their names are Alessia, Paola, Patrizia, and Sergio. And when we realized that our students would like to have the reason why to study right now, in the moment, not only for the future. We realized that we had to change our approach, and so we create this group, this creative group, and instead of proposing only teaching on the books, we prefer to teach through entrepreneurship, through a concrete approach, teaching the same things, the same subjects, of course, but when we saw the results of this new approach, that the students would like to know more, would like to go on deep, because they were committed in this kind of goal. We realized that we were focused on the right approach. So thank you to Alessia, Paola, Patrizia, and Sergio, and from Berg School, my former school, and I have two other two other, not colleagues, but one is a professor, and my professor of math. I'm very, very, yeah. When I talk of him, I have to say that he was my mentor. He was my, and I followed him in every approach, when every hour I teach with my students, Dino Marmiroli, the the professor of math, and the other one was my boss. One was my headmaster, because Gianni, this is the name of my former headmaster, and if today I am what I am, I have to say that he gave me the right answer every day.
Fantastic. I'm sure they're very grateful to you as well for starting this whole entrepreneurship approach in teaching and making education more meaningful to students, since they didn't find the whole purpose with it. They couldn't see that far into the future. So thank you for sharing these views again. And but instead of me asking you to continue asking you questions in today's show, we're gonna do it a little bit differently than what we're usually doing it. So we have picked some words that we associate with collegiality, or and that might be, you know, even for you or for anybody, might be closely connected with, in order to create this kind of collegial atmosphere at a school or in education in general. So we have actually created a little spin wheel with these words. So let's see how that goes. So let's spin the wheel. What's the first word?
Coraggio.
Ooh, wonderful. We start with a little bit of Italian. Coraggio. And I think, Armando, you have to take this one.
Wow, thank you for this gift, because coraggio is, of course, is an Italian word, but if you translate it in English, we can translate it in in different words. So we can say courage, of course, but we can say also heart. We can say it as with valor, with metal. So we have more and more meaning in English. Coraggio for me is the basic for to understand the real life of the entrepreneur. So when I teach the first lesson to my students is based on this beautiful word, coraggio.
Thank you, Armando. And how does it? How do you think it relates to collegial and creating a collegial atmosphere among teachers?
Yeah,
Coraggio.
yeah. Because it is the same. Because when we work together, when we have the same goal as teachers, of course, we need a lot of coraggio, but in the different meanings. So I think that if we, as a group of work, understand that coraggio is our heart that we can give to our students all together, then we can say that we can work with our students better than before.
Thank you, Armando. And Natalia, what do you relate to this word courage in that sense when it comes to creating a collegial atmosphere?
Yes, well, I was thinking if coraggio was courage, and I think it's has a little bit to do with daring or accepting maybe challenges. And when you have the support of your collegial team or teachers, it's much easier to be, to have the courage to maybe try something new.
Of course.
So that's a little bit of what I think being
Yeah.
courage. Yeah.
Yes, and I was thinking also, I mean, it could also be the courage of as you what you mentioned before about sharing positive and negative moments, you know. That's also courageous and showing also your vulnerability sometimes.
Yes.
Even
Yes.
you know, standing on that first day with a group of students and uh, your uh, your colleague said, "Well, could you please repeat all these names?" So, I mean, that's also it also takes courage and just like, okay, I'll stand here and accept the situation, you know?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yes. But let's another word. Another word. Let's spin the wheel.
Support.
Ooh, support. And we mentioned support before, actually, a lot, how it's important to support each other. Would you like to add anything to this, what we said before, Natalia?
Well, I think we need support, not just to surround ourselves with people who supports us, and that push us forward. So we need people that cheer us up as well. So yes, I think we need support all the time, but also support each other, of course.
Of course. And I was thinking, Armando, as well, you talked about how your principal, your headmaster, was also a great colleague of yours as well. And I think, what's the support of your headmasters? What do you think is needed in that support from your boss, so to speak? What kind
Yeah.
of collegial climate?
Yeah, Anna-Karin, please, I want to shift on another thought, because I think that when you support when I understood from my boss and from my professor that when you support the colleagues, each other, it is better. And I can experiment this situation because you know that I'm teacher community manager in JA Italy, and with this role I'm in charge of supporting and valorizing the work, the job, the wonderful things that our colleagues do during their during their day life. So I'm very happy to have this opportunity in junior achievement, because when I meet colleagues from the south of Italy, the center of Italy, so we have a community of more than 500 teachers that are gathered in this community. It's a big surprise for me, because I see my colleagues smiling and happy to be in to teach entrepreneurship in their schools.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Let's have a look at another word.
Fika.
Ooh, a very important Swedish word. And I think in that case, Natalia, you have to take this one.
Well, it's a special word you need to know if you come to Sweden. It's common to have a fika, And it's a little break. We drink coffee and maybe have something sweet to eat, like a biscuit or a cinnamon bun or something like that. And we do have fika once a week here at Cyber. And it's a good opportunity for networking with our colleagues and just to maybe get to know each other a little better. We can have new colleges that we need to present ourselves to, or to they can feel comfortable to be at our school, and it's very good for a positive climate and for the community, I guess. So fika is a nice word to know. If you come to
It's a
Sweden.
necessity. You have to know it when you come here because you can't get out of it. It's very important.
Yes.
Especially when you
Yes.
work as teachers. You have to have your fika in order, as you
Yes.
said, Natalia, to get together.
Yes, we need it. I think it's a very important part of the day.
Yes, absolutely. What about you, Armando? Do you have anything
Yeah.
similar where you
No, no,
kind of have a
I
break
did,
together?
yeah, yeah. No, but I know very well this word because I have been a lot of times in Sweden with amazing colleagues. Every in Uppsala, in Malmö, in Gothenburg, in Stockholm, of course. So this word, so I love this word because when I understood that it is a moment to exchange experiences with a good coffee, but a good Italian coffee, okay? Espresso. This is very
Of course.
important because when they gave me the long coffee, I was not so happy to to receive
It is a little bit
the,
tough. Yes.
yeah. But anyway, so if I have a good espresso with nice pastry, that's it to have a good climate, to be relaxed, and yeah, to exchange experiences, exchange yeah, your way of life. So I know very well. I love this word, and I experimented this moment many times in Sweden, and I have good memory of this. So I'm happy that we found this word.
Great, thank you. I think we do we have time for one more word, maybe? Yes. Nina says yes. So then we have time. So spin the wheel.
Responsibility.
Ah, responsibility. Natalia, how is responsibility connected to create a collegial climate?
I guess that we do have responsibility for each other, because teaching, we are role models when we teach, but we also have this big responsibility to have our students to learn. And I think there's nothing more satisfying to see when a colleague is happy and they talk about students that have reaching their goals, or how they grow. And I think it comes hand in hand, responsibility with the goals that the students can reach. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. What about you, Armando? How do you think responsibility is connected with the collegial teacher?
Yeah, we have different levels of responsibility, but I think that take responsibility and teach how to take responsibility is very important. But starting from, as Natalia said before, starting from all of us. So if we take responsibilities and we show how to take responsibilities to our students as a collegial team, I think that the students can be prepared to take responsibilities for their life.
I totally agree. I think it is important, as you both say. I mean, it is a shared responsibility. If you don't feel that among colleagues, and if you don't promote that among colleagues, then it will be hard to get these other factors in place, I think, such as support, a support system, a more open school climate where you share your positive and negative moments, of course. So I think it's very, and as you said, also the responsibility to act as role models as this towards the students. So thank you so much for your great words, Armando and Natalia. We will get back to you a little bit later, but now we're going to be talking about, or we're going to have a look at some examples from our collaborators, Varkey Foundation and Teachers Without Borders, and how they have created a teacher community on a global scale. So, as we said before, Varkey Foundation and Teachers Without Borders are two organizations whose purpose is to strengthen the teacher profession all over the world, but also to strengthen the sense of community among teachers and help teachers get connected and work together. So Varkey Foundation, our first organization that we will have a look at, is, as we said, Armando is wearing the beautiful pin of the Global Teacher Prize. And they're also behind the Swedish Teacher Awards, Lärargalan, as we know it by. And they have also created a fantastic online platform for teachers in Latin America. This platform has just grown into a huge network platform, and it has turned into an amazing community for teachers to share their experiences and in order to support each other. So let's have a look at what this platform is all about.
Meet Veronica, a teacher from Argentina. Veronica is applying a new strategy for her students to learn how to read. This strategy was shared by Juan, a teacher in Peru. Juan implemented this method with his class to learn about group work. At the same time, in Mexico, Elisa replicated this practice with her students too. Veronica, Juan, Elisa, they found each other. But how did this happen for these teachers and their students? Comunidad Atenea happened. The Latin American teaching community, a place to discover ideas with other teachers, a place to plan and create classes in a collaborative way, to get inspired, to share, meet teachers from all around the region and learn together. Be part of Comunidad Atenea. Come and join us.
What a great watch to learn a little bit more about this so-called Comunidad Atenea in Latin America. We have a similar platform here in Europe, actually, called eTwinning, where teachers can connect with schools and different education areas. Our other important partner, Teachers Without Borders, also has a platform where you can connect and take action with teachers through what they call paths of action. You can collaborate, share your own work, or even contribute to the Teacher's Voice Journal. So, as you can see, these are just a few examples of how you can create community among teachers and support each other in our profession. Also, of course, on a global scale. So let's turn our final question back to Natalia and Armando, our guests of this talk show today. Natalia, can you remember our particular moment with colleagues where you felt that you were a community and a strong force together?
I believe it's I think it's every time we need to collaborate for the support of our students. It can be in a learning process or something else. It can involve a lot of different professions from the school. And when we do it for our students' best and well-being, I think I do feel we're strong together and we're doing something good for our community and for the well-being and future of our kids, our students here at school. So I think that's when it really shows our professions and how we can work together for them.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. What about you, Armando? Do you have one of
Yeah.
these moments where you felt you were a strong force together?
Yes, when I gather our students during the online meetings, I think that those moments are very, very appreciated from our colleagues, from our teachers. But right now they are demanding to to be face to face. So I think that I hope to start again to organize moments, face-to-face moments, where with all our community, because I think that is really the best starting of new relationship between among teachers. So thank you very much for this topic, collegial teaching to collegial teacher, because it's a very stimulating possibility for me and for Natalia to say what we are doing for this special world.
No, we are the ones who, me, of course, and everyone else behind this, we are the ones who thank you for taking the time. I know you both have a very busy schedule, being teachers and everything. So thank you so much for joining us today and taking the time to be here with us today. And it's been such a pleasure to hear your thoughts and what you shared about what it means to be a collegial teacher. Because again, this show is about teachers, about you. And hopefully you feel that we give you a platform where you can express your thoughts and your experiences when it comes to teaching. And also it is, I hope, again, a way to connect with teachers from all over the world. So thank you for being here. And I also, of course, wanted to thank Nina and Rickard from Academy for making all of this possible and for making, well, doing all the tech and making me look good. And I'm so grateful. So thank you so much for today. And please don't miss out. In March, we are going to air the Blanka Talks episode 5, which is called The Inclusive Teacher, when we will have a look at how you can work with inclusion in education. So thank you so much for today. Bye.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.